So after you've seen the Mayakashi deck profile, hopefully you've checked it out, now we're going to take a look at some test hands to see how average boards or some boards might end up. But before we get into it, I again remind you of the 3 decks that we can see next week. Some tier element stuff, some Gate Guardians and Mikankos, depending on what you want to see. Let me know in the comments down below and then we will take a look at it. But let's get into the test hands right now. Okay, so coming into the test hands, let's give the deck a good shuffle. Already shuffled a bit, but I don't want anyone to say that we have fixed our test hands or whatever. So let's just make some piles here and like shuffle the cards in any way or form. We're going to go into more detailed pile shuffling for the next one, but I just want to get into the first set of test hands quick. So hopefully we can get a good hand. I want to show the basic combo and then also some more complicated hands. Let's see. So Doom King, Yuki is great. Miniature World, okay. A small world, Mayakashi Return, that's great to see. And another small world. So we have different options here. Could ignore anything related to small world in case you don't have these cards. Don't know how expensive they are. I think the reprint made them relatively cheap, but well, hey. With that we could go and like banish the Doom King and then search whatever the hell we want. We could go for that line of play, which I would say is the best one, because the Mayakashi Return will then get us the trap, and with this we have a really nice hand. But maybe you don't want to banish your Doom King. Well, too bad, we're going to do it. So we activate Small World, we're going to show Doom King, then we Small World, man, is for the big brain people. So now we target a different zombie with it has to be a zombie with different stats and whatever. We can, what do we not need? I think banishing one of the Mizukis here would be the way, right? Remember, they can't share the same attribute, level, attack, defense value. The only thing in this deck that all cards share, they are all zombies, which is fine. So this is in hand, this is the other one. Both of them will get banished, and we will add this one to our hand. Different attribute, different level, zombie, but different attack defense values. So this one goes into the graveyard, and they are banished, which you can't see because my camera is a bit weird today. Well, whatever. Okay. So why did we do this? Usually we could activate the Mayakashi Return if this gets ashed or whatever. But you want to use the return for the trap card, which, I mean, we can do that right now. Just so you already know what we're going to do. Because the trap card is just so important for this deck. I mean, the deck can work even without the trap, but the trap just puts it to the next level because it's just so good or so unfair. So now with this, the next small world is for our next turn, but man, I doubt there will be a next turn with what we're about to do to our opponent, assuming no hand traps. Normal summoning the Hygiene, and that will get us our Darky here. So for the first time here, I will explain it in more detail. In case you know Mayakashi is, yeah, this will be a bit annoying, but so we're going to synchro summon with Darky and Hygiene into a level 3 synchro monster, Guruma, the Wield Mayakashi, then Darky's effect. In case we have not read the card, it's pretty balanced because it's not once per turn, not hard once per turn, not nothing. If a Mayakashi extra deck monster is summoned, you can just summon her from the graveyard. And again, you can do this how many times you want. The only relevant thing is, remember, this locks you into Mayakashis. So that's why our extra deck is Mayakashi only, because, well, yeah, hey. Anyway, so now a level 3 and a level 2 make a lovely level 5, and Daki obviously who comes back every time, because again, it's not once per turn, no nothing. So yeah, these two then make a level 7. And we continue to link to synchro climb, right? A level 2 and a level 7. Well, they make a level 9, and then Daki comes back, a level 9 and a level 2. Guess you know what comes next. They make a level 11. Now Daki comes back again, and well, the thing is, could now theoretically go into level 13, but that's not in the game. Instead, we go for yeah, a link 2 option. Daki comes back because it's not only synchro summons, it's extra deck in general, so this works with links as well. And we are now link climbing into Yugioh, Icicle, link 3, and then we move into the link 4 yugioh, the absolute zero Mayakashi. So short, like in case you don't know, why did we go through all these steps if we could have just link climbed in the first place? Why did we go through all our synchro monsters? Because all of them have two very great effects. They don't really do anything on field the first time they're summoned. I hope you read the cards, right? But they all have effects if they are brought back from the grave, and they also have effects that bring themselves back from the grave, from the graveyard, if certain conditions are met. I won't go into everything here because, well, read the cards, people. Yeah, so now we have our boss monster here that is a double negate in our opponent's turn, a double monster negate, and also against decks that banish a lot, well, they will have a few problems with that. And now the next thing is we want to get our very fair trap online. For that, we need to have a link or synchro monster on field. But we don't want to tribute the link 4 because, well, we don't want that on field. It's pretty good. So we need to get anything else on board. Luckily, we have two different ways to do that. We have our link 3, which is really, really nice. It's a quick effect reborn for something that we want. But due to the fact of it being a quick effect, and yeah, we want that in our opponent's turn to trigger the link 4, which is a negate in that case, and also to trigger some of these effects in our opponent's turn. So I would always advise to only use the link 3 in our opponent's turn, like that. So we need to find another way. Luckily, we have a free extender in hand, and what an extender this is. Special summoning Yuki Musume from hand or graveyard also activates a fun effect. We could mill any zombie, and we have different options here. I'm going to show them off. We have the Algul Mazera, we have the Glow Up Bulb, and Necro World Banshee, and the Mizuki. So, the Necro World Banshee, first and foremost, obviously, is to set up the zombie world. I don't really prioritize zombie world a lot right now, but obviously in different metas it can be more relevant, also depending on what you have. If you have access to our main deck boss monster, yeah, in this case, never mind. We banished it, never mind. If you have access to the Doom King, then obviously Necro World Banshee becomes better because the Doom King is a really nice card with the zombie world in place. Same with if you have Jacko Bolan in hand, right? Then you can screw over your opponent's graveyard. The Grog Boom can get you to the Doom King, to the Jacko, to Eldritch, to all kinds of different cards. This is very nice, but I don't like it going first. I think because of the toolboxy nature that this deck can have, I think this has more value in follow-up or going second in general. And then we have two options here. Both are really, really good, especially going first. Mizuki is immediate follow-up for this turn. You can get more bodies on field, which you don't really need, to be honest, though. But obviously for your next turn to then hopefully kill your opponent, this is a nice follow-up to have that engraved. And the Algol is more defensive. It will protect your field from the opponent to destroy it. So I think this is follow-up, this is protection for your board. If you're greedy, I guess, you go with this. I don't know. I think it's personal preference depending on what you have in hand, what your opponent has already shown. Let's go with the Algol here in this case because we don't go into turn 2. But yeah, that's just the added bonus of this card, right? You get a free body on board and you get mill. It's just insane. This card is really helpful. And yeah, now again, remember, why are we doing all of this? For our trap, we need to get an extra deck monster, or rather a link or synchro. We have two options here. Either we synchro into the wheeled Mayakashi or we link into the link 2. Personally, I think the link 2 has more value due to the ability to link climb in your next turn, which Oboroguruma doesn't really offer. And yeah, it's also one of the, let's just say, worse synchro monsters that you don't really miss or need all too often. So yeah, I would value the link 2 more. So we are going to synchro summon here instead to make the wheeled Mayakashi. Daki's effect triggers again, brings her back, remember that. And well, then we set the trap, right? We set the trap here and we be done with our turn. We pass it to our opponent and in their well, standby phase, whatever, draw phase, how much you want to screw them, you activate your trap card, tributing, or tributing, yeah. The Oboroguma, which locks them from special summoning from fucking hand, deck, or extra deck. They only can special summon from graveyard, but they go, that's their first turn, they don't have anything in graveyard, so they can't do anything. It's also a lingering effect because this is not a permanent trap card. It goes into the graveyard, they can't do anything against it anymore. Yeah, it's just really fun also. So let's assume they, I don't know, normal summon anything, they do their normal summon, and on normal summon you chain your link 3, which will banish itself to bring back, to revive any zombie synchro monster. Okay, I just want to be sure that I'm not telling you anything wrong. Yeah, in most cases, I would argue you bring back yugioh, due to the simple fact. So yeah, your opponent, let's just take any monster, I don't know, they normal summon Unizombie, right? So on the normal summon, right, they normal summon their monster, whatever it is, you chain this, you chain the link 3, bring back yugioh, and then you can, before they do anything, can negate the monster, make their attack point 0 with Yukiona's effect, and then yugioh to destroy the card. And then they have their normal summon used, they can special summon, and if they try to get rid of your board, you have a one-time protection with your Algol, which will banish and bring itself back in the protection effect. Again, not going over every detail of every card here, but so overall we have 2 interruptions or 2 negates with the Yuki. With the link 3 that we set up, we have that. We have immense amount of follow-up with our synchros, if you know how they work. So overall, the moment we get into main combo plus trap, I think that's pretty unfair. So let's get into the next test hand. So coming here into the next test hand, let's give our top cards a good shuffle so no one is accusing me of anything. We have the trap, okay, and it's already GG if we have anything else. Droplet, 1 for 1, so any monster will be full combo. We already have our Hygiene, so yeah, it's just GG. Yeah, this is another very good hand. It's not a very hard one to play. It's actually pretty insane. We can do all kinds of different stuff here. But let's just again be greedy and play with no care in the world. normal Haijun and special out the Daki. We're not going over everything here in grand detail once more. We will synchro into Oboro, bring back Daki, synchro into Tsuchigumo, synchro into Tengu, synchro into Yoko, synchro into Skull Mayakashi. Again, remember how Daki brings itself back and how we climb. Don't do that against your opponent, right? You have to play properly, but I don't want to waste more of your time. The first combo already took a long time because, well, it is a lot of summons that are, very repetitive, which, I mean, I think it's very beginner friendly in that sense. But yeah, so hopefully, like if you followed or understood the first combo, well, we did it here once more. Daki brings herself back. With that, we climbed in levels. With that, we climbed in link ranks. Yeah, not much to say again. We already have the trap, so again, how do we set up the trap here? We need any other extra monster. We don't have Yuki in hand, so you could argue you go Yuki Ono in your own turn. But yeah, we have a really nice card here, 1/1. We discard the Uni Zombie, and that will special out here the Yuki Musume. So yeah, we don't get the additional mill this time because we brought her out due to the different effect. But again, we go into the Oboroguma. Again, we get Daki back. And well, sadly, we don't really have anything in hand for the Forbidden Droplet, but we can just set 2 cards in our opponent's card, do the old Yoinky Sploinky, and you can't special summon anymore. And if they want to normal summon, well, normal summon Yuki Ono effect, bring back Yoko, this negates, this destroys. If they have anything else, we still have Forbidden Droplet to send, well, whatever the fuck we want, to send 2, I guess. Yeah, that's the beauty of this deck. It's very reliable in getting to your main combo line and setting that one up. Obviously, we had some really nice hands or easy hands here in this. I want to remember people, if you have any annoying cards, the Unizombie can send them from hand into the graveyard. Like if you have Mizuki in hand, this is a way to get rid of it. If you need anything in graveyard for a revival effect, the Unizombie can send it easily. Yeah, the good thing is like we didn't really get to it because of our hands always getting us to the trap, which again, like it's so good that we don't really want to play anything else. There's obviously this line here, like if you have access to cards like that, setting up the zombie world, milling the bulb, and then specialing out the Doom King, or like even if you don't have the extra mill for the glow up bulb, the Doom King in general with a field spell is just recursion, negates and interruptions, and that's just one of the many things this deck can do. Again, I think it's pretty easy and pretty straightforward because the main combo is just synchro, 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 link, 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 which I think is very beginner friendly. And then even on a higher skill ceiling, I think with the different options this deck can have, with the alternative cards, right? The other zombie package we play, it can play around that as well. So I hope you enjoyed the test hands. Quick reminder again, which of these 3 decks you want to see next week, let me know down below. And if you enjoyed yourself with the Mayakashi content, leave a like and maybe subscribe to not miss out on the upcoming deck profiles. So take care till next week, my friends. Bye bye.